This is question number 16 of homework 11 for chapter 23. Suppose the economy is starting from a situation of long-run equilibrium. So here is the point 1, I guess that's the long-run equilibrium. In this case, we know that its equilibrium output Y star is I guess it's the same, right? It's the same as the potential output. Yeah, it's equal to the potential output. That's what the non-run means. Yeah, YP right here. So let's go on. Starting from its non-run equilibrium at point 1, in the figure to the right, suppose the economy experiences a positive demand shock. So demand shock will shift the AD curve, right? It's positive, so it will shift the AD curve to the right, right? Using the line drawing tool, shift a single curve to show the initial short-run effect. Properly label your curve. So as we said, I mean, yeah. So this is line drawing tool. As we said, this will shift the the AD curve. So the new AD curve will be here. So this is the AD2. And part 2, using the point drawing tool, identify the new short-run equilibrium. Label this point 2. So obviously the new short-run equilibrium will be the intersection of the new AD curve and AS curve. The AS curve doesn't shift here, so it's the same. So now right here. This is point 2. And now check my answer. Okay, so let's move on. In the short run equilibrium at point 2, labor markets would likely see increasing. So if you look at this point 2 compared with the initial output, remember the initial output is the potential, right? The long-run potential output level. So now this output here is higher. The point 2 here is higher. So that means the economy will see increasing tightness, right? The output is higher. The economy is kind of booming. So that's tightness in the labor market, increasing the tightness. And corresponding stronger pressure on wages. So because the labor market is so tight, so you have to increase wage, right? If you want to hire people to work for you. So there's a stronger pressure on wages and costs. Hence, the wages part of the cost, right? And hence forces firms to raise their, because the firms want to be profitable. So if the cost increases, they also have to raise their prices, right? The prices at a more rapid rate. So if the prices increase, if you imagine the inflation also goes up, right? The inflation should go up. So that will shift the AS curve, right? Graphically, this chain reaction produces shifts in the short-run aggregate supply curve, that's AS1, that are up, right? It should shift up and to the left, because that will increase the inflation up and to the left. And this shifts in the short run aggregate supply curve result in output gaps that are, so if you shift the AS curve like this, the AD curve is right here, so the AS curve shifts like this, so that where the new equilibrium is right here. So the gap between the output. This is the output. The gap, the initial gap is here. Now the gap is somewhere here. So the gap will shrink. The gap is narrowing. And the economy is evolving toward an eventual new long-run equilibrium with an inflation rate that is. So now if you move this AS curve, as long as the output is still above the long-run potential output level, then there's still pressure on the price, hence on the inflation. So the AS curve, the short-run AS curve will keep shifting up until it's here. So the intersection between the AS curve and the new AD curve is here. So there's no output gap. Then it will stop shifting. But here you see that this point here is above the initial point. So that means the inflation is higher, even though the output is the same. So the inflation will be higher. Okay, I guess we have done, basically we have done this problem.